Hello, everybody. Welcome back. If you don't know, my name is Cooper, and today we're going to be talking about how to use color in your space without overdoing it. So, most people think that a pop of color is throwing a throw pillow on a couch or bed, but honestly, that's one of the worst ways you can go about it. And I think a lot of the time we can get caught up in these traditional interior design so called rules, but in reality, there are so many more ways to introduce pops of color that are a lot easier and a lot more interesting than just adding a throw pillow or a throw blanket. And so today I'm going to show you guys how to get that pop of color exactly right. Let's talk about why pops of color matter. So in design, a pop of color acts as a focal point for your eye that creates visual interest, breaks up the monotony of a room, and brings a really nice and warm energy. And something I just wanted to mention before we deep dive into the meat of this topic, I wanted to talk about color psychology a little bit because it is something that I find to be really interesting and important in interior design. So if you guys don't know, our brains psychologically associate different colors with different energies and different things. So you might be wondering, what colors are associated with certain things? So red is typically associated with an energizing space. So if you're going to do a mostly red room, I would say that putting it in a living room or dining room or a kitchen is probably a better idea than a bedroom. But in the past couple years, we've seen a huge resurgence in the whole pop of red trend on the internet. And one of the main reasons as to why we love these little pops of red in our space is because they do bring so much energy and make such an impact. For blue, it's associated with a nice and calming space, so that's usually good to do in a bedroom or a more chill area of your home. And yellow is associated with uplifting feelings, so this is a really great color I find to do in a kitchen. I think it really warms things up and brings a really fresh and new vibe to the space. So using these colors intentionally based on the mood that you want for a certain room or a certain space is definitely the way to go when it comes to approaching color. We don't just want to consider aesthetics, but also the way that we're going to live and use the space. Okay, so now I'm going to break down my 5 rules for using a pop of color. Just a disclaimer, these are my 5 rules that pertain to me. They're not necessarily something that's widely used in interior design. These are kind of just, rules that I made up and like to follow when trying to incorporate pops of color, and they're what I suggest to other people who are struggling to or trying to do the same thing. So rule 1 is going to be one focal color. So this would be picking a bold color to lead with in a design. This could be a piece of artwork, a sofa, or a rug, it doesn't matter, but usually this is a good starting point. I always find that examples are always the most helpful when it comes to rules like these. So in my home, in my living room, I would say that the focal color is going to be, either my green rug or my red couch, because they're both very strong visually. In my bedroom, which I'm in right now, I would say the focal color in here is going to be this light cream color, or I would say the green pillowcases that I have on my bed. Those two are the ones that I find to be most commanding in here and draw the most attention to the eye. Okay, my second rule here might be a little bit controversial to people who have watched me in the past, but it is something that is quite important when you're designing, and that's going to be anchoring the room with neutrals. This is really important because you want to create a foundation to play with color on. So you want to start with some maybe more neutral colors and then build on that, add some pops of color based on the tone and the hue of those colors. Just using an example, once again, I would say that this room is anchored in browns and tans and creams, and then is built on with greens and reds and small little bits and pieces of different bright colors. This is really important to consider because how are you supposed to have a pop of color in the first place if it doesn't let the rest of the space shine? If I had 12 different bright colors going on in my bedroom right now, it would feel really chaotic and you wouldn't be able to tell what's the pop of color if we don't know what's what with the rest of the room. So when using these neutrals, I would say it doesn't necessarily just have to be beiges and creams and tans or whites or whatever you would think of a typical neutral to be. You can also use earth tones here. I find that these are the best at building a layered feeling in your space, and using dark browns, darker greens, dark reds are really good kind of neutral anchors for a space. I would say, going more towards the more jewel tone section of colors is the way to go when it comes to letting that pop of color shine separately. This video is really hard to make and explain in words just because it is such a visual topic. So I'm going to try my best to give you guys the best information that I can, and hopefully my examples will be sufficient in you guys, getting the point. But if you have any questions about anything that I'm talking about, drop one in the comments. I'm happy to answer it. So that leads us on to rule 3, using the pop of color sparingly. We don't want to go too overboard with it. We don't want it to be too crazy or too loud, because then it's going to take command of the entire room and it's not going to be as visually interesting because we're just going to feel surrounded by it. Make it feel intentional. Just repeat it once or twice. I don't think you guys can see it behind me right now, but I have a little Yoshitomo Nara print just taped onto my wall. It has a really nice bright red pop of color, and another way that I incorporated that into my room was just by having a nice little red coffee table book on my nightstand. Like, it does not have to be that complicated. It doesn't have to be that crazy. You don't have to go out and buy a million different things. It can be really simple. You can use like a vase. You can get a tiny little piece of art. Even a book, a magazine, or a candle will work here. It doesn't have to be super crazy. I would say when you hear this rule, make sure that you avoid doing anything too matchy, because when I say that, I want a little bit of variety within those items. I don't want them to be all the same hue, all the same shade of your pop of color. They need to be, a little bit different. Before we dive into the next tip, I wanted to take a quick break from today's video to talk about something that's been a game changer in my own space. And that's my YESOUL R1M Plus rowing machine. Now, you guys don't know a ton about me outside of interior design, but something that I am really passionate about is getting enough exercise. Sometimes it can be really difficult, especially given that I work from home, to get out of the house, make it all the way to the gym, and get a good workout in. Given that, if I am going to have any kind of equipment in my own home, it's something that needs to be visually aesthetic as well. As I was talking about before with color associations, incorporating items that fit the space and fit the mood of the space and what you want to get out of it is really important. The YESOUL rowing machine is sleek, minimal, and perfect for folding away just into the closet while I'm not using it. It's perfect for small apartments or homes, and for anyone like me who wants a functional space without it looking like a gym exploded in your living room. The 21.5 HD screen is a total upgrade. Plus, it has an all-encompassing surround sound system, and because it folds up, it can keep my space feeling designed. It's not compromising anything at all. If you want to check out the YESOUL R1M Plus for your own home, check out the description for some more information. Thank you again for YESOUL to sponsoring today's video. Okay, so now rule number 4 is going to be texture over saturation. This is really important when it comes to adding a pop of color in textiles or artwork. Not all pops of color need to be neon brights, like it really shouldn't be that way. It's about the richness of a color. So think a really nice deep red, something like that. Something that draws you in and you get a feeling evoked by it. And I would say adding texture and color is going to be a double win here, because this will create even more visual interest and more visual layering for the room or space that you're trying to design. You don't want it to feel too forced, because that's when it will look weird. Okay, now it's going to be our last rule. So, stick with me here. So rule number 5 is going to be letting the room breathe. And by this, I mean embracing negative space. You still want to allow your pop of color to shine in the room, and you don't want it to feel crowded. So I would say pops of color usually work the best in spaces that lean a little bit more in the middle of minimalist and maximalist. I think either extreme it doesn't work very well in, but I think if you're somewhere in the middle, kind of like the room I'm sitting in right now, take that into consideration. If you have a million different little knickknacks going on with a ton of different colors, it can drown out the pop of color that you're trying to give. And if you have too little in your space, it's going to be harder to incorporate those pops of color through decor items. So if you are a minimalist, you're probably going to be spending a lot of money either on a statement piece of furniture, whether that's a deep red chair or a navy blue couch or something like that. And I would say that less is always more here. You want to pull back a little bit, and I always find that the best way to approach adding a pop of color is by trying out all the different options that you can do. I know this sounds really annoying, especially coming from me, who is giving you guys information on this, but honestly, it is what I do with my clients. I try out things in a million different ways, a million different configurations, until we find one that works and looks right. That's what you have to do in your own home. As much of a pain as it might be, you might need to go through your bookshelf and style it 15 different times to find an outcome that you really like. I know know it sucks, but you just gotta if you want a nice outcome. Like my bedroom right now that I'm sitting in, it was styled in 2 different ways before this, and now I'm finally landing on something that feels natural and cohesive with the rest of my apartment. It takes time. It's not gonna instantly be there. What's really important to remember here is that pops of color are about intention. When in doubt, keep it simple. Just one little pop of color, nothing crazy, a couple little things here and there, and then keep the rest of the space in a more neutral or earth tone. So I hope this video helped you guys. I know it might have been a little bit shorter, but I am posting twice a week now on Thursdays at 12 p.m. PST and Sundays at 6 a.m. PST. So you get 2 videos from me a week. I really try to give you guys the best advice when it comes to pops of color because I know a lot of people struggle with finding a color palette that they really like. So I hope this was helpful. Again, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I am happy to help. And as usual, you can find me on Instagram at Cooper Osinski Interiors, or you can visit my website, cooperosinski.com, where you can book a consultation with me, and hopefully I can sign you as a client. I would absolutely love to work with you guys and help you with anything that you need. Thank you so much again to YESOUL for sponsoring today's video. If you want a little bit more information about them, check out the description. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a good day. I'll see you later. Bye.